doesn't shift with a clutch and stuff. It just has a forward and a reverse, like a shifter knob on it. But the point is he was like, well, it used to run good. Well, A to that story is that everything. You can look at a motorcycle that's got trees growing through it, sitting behind someone's fence that doesn't have an engine on it. Hey, everything. It used to run good. Everything used to run good. You know what I mean? Anyway, he came by to check on his four-wheeler, and I had to explain to him that it's an oil-injected two-stroke, and the oil injector quit working a long time ago. And, it probably did run before it was parked. But, however, it was running on straight gas, and it's supposed to be running on mixed fuel, and now it's just filling everything up with raw fuel, and you're lucky that it didn't have spark, because it probably just would have, guess what, caught on fire. And we got, anyway, I told him, he was like, okay, well, then I guess that one's a boat anchor or whatever, so I, of course, I showed pictures of having it all taken apart and everything, and then we got to talking, and he looks over at my motorcycle, and he's like, he asked me, has anyone else ridden it yet? And I looked at him like that was a question that I don't even ask other people about their motorcycle. Is it just me? No one else rides my shit. Brother, cousin, father, son, no. It's no. And now there are a couple of people that I would trust with my bike. However, it would have to be one of those dire situations to where, like, hey, I won the lottery and I need you to, or something. It would have to be, I don't know. I'd have to think of the scenario where I would actually hand someone the key to my bike that I've fucking basically built with my own two hands, and I've only had it on the road. I've only put about, 120 miles on it since it's been mine. So yeah, even after the new wears off, guys, it's not a common thing. Remember, I had bought a brand new motorcycle in 2005, and I'd taken it down to the ballpark, and my girlfriend at the time, right? It was sitting there, and we were all like talking or whatever, and one of the other ballpark dads like sat on my bike, and first I was like, man, I don't sit on other people's shit. I didn't say that out loud, but you could tell. This is like the second time I'd even ridden this motherfucker. And then my girlfriend goes, hey, why don't you hand him the key and let him take it for a ride? And I looked at her, I was like, why don't I not? Yeah, I don't think so. And that guy just kind of got off my bike or whatever, but as soon as he walked away, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Offering my, that's not how shit works. So, I tell you, that pissed my bike off because I took her to someplace, we went through the drive-thru, and she put her leg down, and it burnt the fuck. She had on some capri pants, it burnt the fuck out of her leg. So, she pissed Blackie off, so we're not trying to piss Sandy off. Sandy's gonna get by just fine. And yeah, man, anything on it that could be replaced as far as filters, fuel lines, vacuum lines, all that. And I'm happy with it. I knew that all of that shit would be solid. But again, until you take it down the road and put a few miles on it, everything also has to put on new brakes. I just want to make sure everything rolled smooth and tight, right? And it did. Everything's cool about it. And yeah, just talking a little bit about, I was trying to think, have I ever fucked up? Yes, I fucked up loading before. I went to take I had a Nissan Frontier Nismo 4x4. I like that truck, man. It's a little supercharged, 4-liter, 6-cylinder, 4-wheel drive. And I got my ramp, I strapped it and everything, but like I tell you guys, this is what it was. It was a girl's big 4x4 4-wheeler, and I tuned it up for her. And I guess she lived in LaPorte. And I went to LaPorte because I was like, I'll tune it up, I'll do this for you. It's pretty. But that being beside the point, she was like, one of those cowgirls, like big titty cowgirl, voluptuously. Anyway, blah, 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 single phasing out, guys. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, I'll do this for you. Actually, I would have done it for free. She paid for the parts, but I was like, I want to borrow it to go to the beach for the weekend. And she's like, okay, cool. So whenever the weekend for the beach comes, yeah, I put the ramp and everything, strapped it. And instead of pushing the four-wheeler up or parking in the ditch so that I had never loaded this particular four-wheeler into this Nissan Nismo. And it had triple glass window in the back. And yeah, whenever I pulled that son of a bitch up in there, I had it in there. And then for some reason, I goosed it a little bit. And when I goosed it, the brush guard on the four-wheeler was right up against my back window, and it just said, pshk. What's kind of funny about that is I had a tap-out sticker on that window. Yep, and I tapped it out of my... Well, there's, 1, 2, 3, 4 windows back there because it had the sliding glass. Just fucking shattered all the shit. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry, and all this and that. I was just embarrassed. I was like, fuck. So did I go put a new window on my truck that day? No, I cleaned up all the glass. I went to the car, what do you call I went to the fucking car wash, vacuumed up all the glass out of the back of my truck, out of the inside of my truck, and then good old motherfucking Gorilla duct tape. I Gorilla duct taped that fucking back window on the inside and on the outside, and went ahead and drove down to the beach and it was Memorial Weekend 2009. Memorial Weekend 2009. And yeah, I went down to the beach. Unload the four-wheeler, made one lap, and then the fucking cops on four-wheelers come and say, hey, we better see that four-wheeler in the back of your truck strapped down because you're not allowed to have four-wheelers out here. Well, that's where we would always go ride four-wheelers, and nobody ever fucked with us about it. Apparently, people use that, and then every single fucking person on the planet with a dirt bike, four-wheeler, go-karts were all out at the beach, and none of them had on helmet. I mean, even whenever we were out, like doing whatever, right? Especially if we would take dirt bikes out there, always wearing helmets. A four-wheel drive four-wheeler in low gear on the beach is another thing, because female on the back, go drive through the water a little bit, have a little bit, you know what I mean? But I can see where a helmet would not be necessary in that instance. But anytime we're fucking around, even we would take, we had a bunch of XR100s, and we would take them out and be jumping them and shit. But definitely we had on protective gear, come on. So yeah, wear your helmet, man. I would like to see your ugly face another day, fuckers, and all you pretty ladies too, because definitely I know I've got a few females out there that follow the show, and yeah, I appreciate that, and I'm glad, like I said, now everything's all lined out here, and my Spreaker podcast lined out to where it's gonna take you to my Facebook page, it's gonna take you to my Twitter. You can send me an email, man. I want to see pictures of your bikes. I want to see what you like to do. Do you dirt track race? Do you like the quarter-mile race? Do you like the motocross? Do you just like to get on your big old V-twin and pop around town? Do you like British bikes? Do you like cafe racers? Are you a crotch rocket guy? Do you ride a big leader bike? All of these things I have much respect for, and we're real excited here at Robcast Radio about the upcoming forward movement we have going on in the show as far as updating some audio equipment, maybe getting better, some better things. We're always constantly in advance here, constantly improving. We want to ride our motorcycle better. We want to get to know it, and just like telling you guys that, going on this trip, just going on this ride around town, leaving out of the driveway, I almost eat shit. This bike I'm not really familiar with, and I try to tell people, and I only did this because instead of trying to go straight up the driveway and then to the left, I tried to go up the ditch onto the road, and I just hit a wet spot in the grass. It was early, And I didn't, like, all I did was fishtailed and then fishtailed down the road a little bit, but we kept it under control and kept going like a boss. But the point is that I always try to tell people, man, when you get a motorcycle, even if you've ridden before and all that, or you're riding someone else's bike, before you go to do any stunting or do any crazy stuff or to go to doing any kind of showing off, you gotta have at least 2 weeks under your belt of getting to know that machine. And that's just my personal rule of thumb. For the novice, it could be a month, it could be a year, I don't know. Maybe you work your way up from an SR70, I'm not sure, CRF 70 or something. But the point is that if you're on a different bike that you're not used to, yeah, my rule of thumb is 2 weeks. And I almost, I had to tell myself that 2 or 3 times on my very first trip on this bike, like no burnouts, no wheelies, no stunting, no switchbacks. You know what I'm saying? Because to see someone riding a V-twin sitting on the backseat of their bike backwards is a little bit unnerving for the cars around you. And I don't want to do that for the first time and then end up like fucking, on my head. Because I gotta have a So yeah, I want to encourage you guys to wake up every day, do what you love to do. Live the dream, man. Perform every task that you can to the best of your abilities, and that will add up to success, no matter how small the task, no matter how big. You might ask yourself, when do I do this? Well, the only time we really got, guys, I might not have been ready to bring you this Life Behind Bars Robcast, but I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to make something motherfucking happen. I'm going to bring you what I got when I got it, because right now is the only time that I've got. Tomorrow's not promised to us. I can make a list and get all the interviews. Motherfucker, I can get an interview with Colin Edwards tomorrow, but if I don't make it till tomorrow, I'm going to bring you what I got today, guys. So until I can get the Texas Tornado on the Robcast, I would love that. That would be a great Robcast. But, I'm going to bring you what I got when I got it. And we are constantly advancing for you all, for our listeners, and for the people we really appreciate that appreciate the people that are motorcycle enthusiasts, man. Guys that have been riding, or you just now decided that like to start riding. And since the negotiations, so give us a shout. We will definitely find the right motorcycle to fit your needs. But until next day, it's not all the time we get. Motorcycle ranting. I'll get some interesting stories, see if we can get you guys some interviews. And until tomorrow, y'all have a badass evening. And guess what? Yeah, that's right. And I'm out here for the day, guys. Peace. So yeah, I don't have any other big brain busters for you little maniacs, but keep your handlebars up, man. Wear your helmet, because yeah, I love you guys. I want to see you. See you live to ride another day. And if you didn't get the chance to take you a ride today, there's always tomorrow, guys.
Alright, all you little maniacs across the planet. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Life Behind Bars Robcast, coming at you live, uncut and unrated from Spreaker Podcast and Robcast Radio. So guess what? This is Zombie, and we're out here for the day, guys. Peace!
Big titties.